I'm Heather.
Welcome to Small Town Big Thoughts. Welcome back.
We're here for a special episode. It's a Mother's Day episode.
We have Kinsey, one of my besties here.
Hi.
She is a mother of 4, and she works a full-time job, and she is a wife, and the busiest person I know. Or one of the busiest people I know.
Literally.
All right, so we got some good questions for you today. Who wants to go first?
Whichever.
I'll ask it, and then whoever wants to.
Okay.
So, what was your first reaction to finding out that you were expecting?
Shocked. Completely unexpected. Because, 2 years beforehand, I was told that I couldn't get pregnant naturally. So,
So that was shocking.
that doctor to be a liar.
Yeah, it is. And now I will say, so Kinsey is going to have 2 different answers. She is a stepmother, and which she is like mom, and then she had 2 biological. So she will have 2 different viewpoints on any of these questions. So
yeah. So, as far as getting the girls, obviously, I knew Brandon had kids, and so that was just part of it. Everything happened very fast, and I was really young and just didn't know anything. But they're 16 and 17 now, so we survived, and it's been great.
Just got thrown right.
Yeah. It's been good though. We're close and stuff, and so, but it was just a different, how it happened. And then pregnancy wise, for Brooklyn, she was planned. So we were really excited. I had a loss right before her, so I feel I was super anxious her whole pregnancy. But we were excited, and then with Zayden,
I was on the phone with you.
Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. So I was not very good at taking my birth control, and he was born. I got pregnant with him probably a year before we originally planned. And I was on the phone with Reba, and I was doing laundry, and I was I think I have to throw up. I gotta put you down for a second.
Well, you were mad because your mom kept telling you were pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I got to take this test just to prove her wrong.
Yes, I was she's so crazy. There's no way. And Brandon had been working all the time because he was still in the oil field, and so it was just the busy part of the year. And Reba was just take it, it'll be fine. So I'm fine, I'm gonna go get this test. So she's on the phone with me. We go to Walmart, we come back, and she's on speakerphone this whole time, and I was I'm gonna have to call you right back. And so I had to call Brandon and tell him. That's how it was with both times. I had to call him because he was at work.
Yes. And then you FaceTime me, and she's showing the stick.
No, I did not. But it was good, and I feel I like their age gap now anyway, so I feel it worked out. But it was good, a good reaction both times.
Zayden was a little more what?
Yeah, it was a semester of school and everything. And I was just
right.
Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But it was fine.
We're fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Okay, so next, give me your birth story.
Oh gosh.
Well, for me, there's not much to tell.
Don't go to Jane Phillips.
Yeah. I went to get induced, and took about 5 hours for the contractions to start. And when they did, they really got rolling. And they told me I could get my epidural when I was out of 4 or 5. And I got, like, I think I got to a 4, and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore because whew, it was already getting a little unbearable. But it was like, I want that epidural, and they're like, make you wait a little bit longer. I'm like, you told me I could have it when I was at a 4. But they ended up making me wait till I was like at a 5 or 6. And then as soon as they gave it to me, my blood pressure dropped, and so did Ellie's. So I got instantly so sick, and I was throwing up. It was awful. And Chance was asleep. Of course.
You needed a Nerf gun, so you like,
Yes.
wake up.
And then Mom's not telling me anything, so like I don't know anything's even really going on other than I feel sick. She's just in the corner, just like all anxious, and I'm like, what is happening? Nobody's like communicating with me. And then next thing I know, I'm able to finally get some sleep, and about 8 hours later, Ellie was here. And then the nurse, she's like, okay, congratulations, everything. I know the cafeteria's closed, but I'm gonna go get you a sandwich or something so you can eat. Literally never came back. It was like,
you have to Uber eat.
yeah, it was like 9 o'clock at night. I had her at 5. It was 9 o'clock at night, and I finally had to call something on
That's
DoorDash.
like the first thing I wanted.
I'm so mad. And then they didn't give me any aftercare. So, like, if it wasn't for Heather buying me stuff, I would have had nothing to help myself heal with my postpartum. And no towels or anything in the shower, like nothing. So, like, I was just using my robe to, like, put on me after I got out of the shower. It was awful.
They were terrible. I remember hearing how awful it was.
And then Ellie,
That's not good.
instead of somebody, since I'm a first time mom, instead of somebody explaining to me that the babies may not be hungry right away, and me obviously getting concerned that she hasn't eaten after a whole day later. So she really didn't eat until we like went to leave the hospital, but nobody explained to me that she might still have amniotic fluid in her stomach because she might not be hungry. Well, instead of just explaining that to me, they took sugar water and put like a little tube down her throat and like pushed them in there, which ended up overfilling her stomach, and it went into her lungs, and she started choking there in the hospital. Terrifying.
Oh my god.
Very traumatizing. So then I had to watch this nurse flip her over and beat her till she started crying and breathing again. It was awful. I do not recommend that hospital to anybody.
Yes. That's traumatizing.
It's very traumatizing.
With Brooklyn, I didn't feel good, and like I ended up calling the doctor, and I was just like, something is off. Like I'm having a lot of pain, like in the upper part of my stomach, and I was supposed to be going to school that day, and Brandon had like been at work, and he was gonna like stay home and drive me. Um, and they had me go ahead and come in. So I'm like, oh, everything's fine. Like they're just,
You thought you were going to
send
come
me
back
home.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She's like, I'm coming
home.
home.
Chilling. And I get there, and I guess like I had preeclampsia, so they were like, "You're having a baby today,"
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have my bags, I didn't have anything, and I was like, "What the heck?" So I had to like send him home, like get a situation planned for Kirsten and Malia. I was in labor for 24 hours, and I thought I was dying, and I didn't get to eat the whole time. Brandon was like exhausted, so he kept falling asleep, like, by the time that everything was like a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there just watching this machine, like waiting on the next contraction, and he is like falling asleep. So I'm pissed. I'm hitting him every couple minutes, and I'm like, wake up and watch this machine. Like, help me get through this. Both my parents were there, but I kicked everyone out of the room, and my mom like she said she could hear me screaming down the hall, and she like came in there and was crying, and she's like, I can't be in here. I'm like, I don't want anybody in here. I'm dying. And so we finally had her, and everything was like fine, but it was the longest 24 hours of my life. And like all I wanted to do was eat. So I had her at like 6:07 in the morning. And so the first thing I was like, Brandon, you've got to go get me a Dr. Pepper for breakfast.
Yes.
And so he went and got that. And then with Zayden, I feel like I did all the things, like was like hypno birthing. I was like trying to do that because I was like, my experience the first time was so bad. So I was like, I've got to figure out a way to like manage the pain.
Mhm.
And it was like chill for the first couple hours. I was in labor with him for like 12 hours. And then all that went out the window and I was done. I was like dying again. I went ahead and gave in and like got the epidural, but they don't work on me. So like I could feel everything. And then I'm like having these weird like when birth couldn't happen after birth where you're like shaking really hard. Well with him I was like still in labor. And so then I'm like mad because I'm like shaking and I can't control it. And she finally came in there and I was like at an 8 and I was just like, I'm done. I'm like, let's get this baby out. And she's like, okay, like we'll go ahead and like let you start pushing. And so Brandon got to deliver Zayden, and that was pretty cool. So he had his little like medical
Scrub
stuff on.
yeah.
And he was all excited, and so he got to pull him out, and then he ended up having to go to the NICU afterwards, and that was not expected. So
I forgot about that.
was in the NICU for 5 days, and he was just like having trouble like regulating his like heart rate and breathing on his own at times, and he like turned blue, and they were like, oh, like he'll be back later tonight. And then that turned into another day and another day and another day. And then he came home and like everything was good after that. But birth itself was awful. But I just like love everything about like babies and pregnancy. And so like after Brooklyn, I remember like holding her and I was sitting in the hospital bed and I was like, I'm never doing that again. Like that was the worst experience of my life. And then by the time we even got home, I was like, all right, so like when are we having another baby? I love babies.
I need another one right now.
I was just like, this is the best thing ever. And like, you know, you always like hear people say that you just like forget about the pain. And I did not forget, but somehow I was like, I can look through that again.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's wild.
Yeah. Birth sounds crazy.
I feel like it's not like I hear all these other people talk about like, you know, everything like went good and like then they got the epidural and nothing hurt or like, oh, I did it naturally and somehow like it was just this most beautiful experience and it is, but I thought I was dying. So I did not feel beautiful at the moment until like the baby was out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was my favorite part when they pull him out and they just lay him on top of you.
Yeah.
The first thing I did was grab her. And they're like, we're trying to clean her up. I'm like, I don't care.
My fluid, yeah.
It's here. I waited 9 months for this.
God. Did Ellie have to go? She didn't have to do NICU or anything. Okay. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember though.
Justin just thought she had 4 toes when she was born.
He did. In his defense though, she kind of has one that's just a little.
She has a toe. I call it her wonky toe. It just bolts under the others.
Well, Brandon used to always talk about Brooklyn look like Voldemort because her nose, like her nose was like smashed like from being in the birth canal, and it just kind of like went to the side for.
Well, and she had that scratch on her head too,
Yeah.
and so she's like legit like Harry Potter theme.
He like said that whenever like I had my ultrasounds and then I had her and her nose was all smashed and he's like, I told you. And I was like, is this gonna stay this way forever? Like, is that gonna be the joke? But she has a normal nose now, so.
Lord Voldemort. Brooklyn. Don't ever let her listen to this. Okay, Lynn, juggling motherhood with work. how do you balance?
Well, I know I wouldn't be able to do it without my mom. She steps in and takes care of Ellie whenever I need her to, and I don't even have to ask. She's just there. She's great. So it's not that much of a struggle.
What about you? You're in the job field now. I mean, you were before, but it was a little more flexible and closer to home.
I stayed home with Brooklyn several years.
Yeah, like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and then because she went to preschool when she was like 4 for like a couple hours in the day, and then COVID happened, so everybody was home, and then like now she's in second grade. Zayden, I was home at first, and then this last year he went to daycare, and I was working like part time, and then now it's like full time. All 4 kids are in sports now, but they're all in school. So like the little 2 had to switch schools, so they would have daycare before and after school, and then the older 2 are still in Cleveland. Like we don't have help. It's just me and Brandon. So recently, all the kids were sick with like every virus under the sun.
For like a month, I
It
felt
was
like
awful.
it's like a month straight.
Yeah, it was like they would have something, and then somebody else would get something a week later, and then they were all passing it around.
Then Zayden got it.
And it was like, he literally was the worst. He had everything, and so me and Brandon both burnt through like all of our PTO, and so I don't know. Somehow we've like managed for all of the years. It helps that Kirsten and Leah are older, so like they both drive and they can, like other than doctor's appointments and stuff, like they can just stay home by themselves and sleep it off or whatever. Brooklyn and Zayden, we have to be there. They can't be home by themselves, obviously. So like we're there the whole time. Used to, I was able to work from home because we were still like transitioning out of COVID, but we're not really doing that anymore. So that sucks. But I don't know. We make it work. And my parents are both gone. His mom lives here, so she's not like right there, and she works, and like we just don't have family that's like able to help us, I guess. And so we've always like joked about that, like it's just us, like somehow managing with these like 100 kids. So I don't know, we make it work. Beautiful. I have like no good advice. You just do it. It's all about winging it. Yeah. You have kids, and somehow you just like manage to do the things you have to.
Yes. Pretty much. Okay, so next is a unique perspective on parenting from myself, and it's on someone who does not want kids. My perspective on kids is, well, I feel like I really can't say what I want. Fuck them kids, no. I had this discussion the other day with my friend Marcy, and I don't want or feel the need to have kids. If tomorrow he said he wanted a kid, though, like I would do it just because I love him, and like I would be an amazing mom. It would give him growth as a person. It's obviously hard and very complex, but I mean, I feel like I could manage and do this shit. Also because I haven't birthed a kid, but I have raised children, with family. Like Brittany and Brayden, they were a little bit older. Brayden was maybe like 4 or 5, and then Brittany a little older than that. And so like I didn't have them the whole time, like Lexi, who was like 3 when Travis became a single dad. And then so like my sophomore year of high school till just now, I raised this, girl with him. And so like I would do it, and it would be beautiful, and it would be God given, but like we aren't actively like, oh, we want to have have kids or we need to have kids. We both joke and say we're selfish, but that probably is one of the main reasons. He loves sleep. You know him. He hates being interrupted or woken up, and that's a situation where, like, at first you don't really sleep a whole lot, and even when there's sickness you don't sleep, and I mean they could be well and they're still kicking you in your back and you're not sleeping. So like, and also like it does take a lot of like money and planning and things like that, and I'll speak for him. We both would rather see that money on a plane ticket than diapers.
Yeah.
So, and I think for me personally, I have been that maternal figure so much for other people in my life, and even like my mom caregiving for her. Like, I didn't get to raise her to like live. I had to raise her to die. And so like I've done a lot of raising, and so I had to grow up pretty early. So I feel like this is my time. So for me,
I can definitely see both sides of it.
And plus the world's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like the world is not good.
Yeah. So of course every kid that's like here and that I like love, my nieces and nephews, I'll want to shield the world from them as much as I can, but like me personally at this point I'm just like it's not even worth it, because like if there's an apocalypse I don't want to survive. Like I just take me out. I want to go buy my food. I don't want to hunt my food. I'll grow food, but that's about it. And so, like, having a dependent, it's just, I mean, there are days where I don't even want to cook for Justin or scoop food for Luna. So, why do I want a whole life depending on me? So, yeah, that is my complex answer to not, like, dying to have children. So.
I feel like it's definitely understandable in today's world for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see myself doing anything different, but I mean, it is a lot. Like you get no breaks, no matter what. And like you said, like caring for other people, I know that's given me a lot of like added anxiety and kind of made like motherhood harder. Obviously like taking care of my parents and different like stuff we've gone through with the kids. That's like just added to my like anxiety that already was.
Yes. Well, I commend you, because she was hustling hard when she was like, especially her dad, like those final stages, and then still like having to be mom. So like I was always checking on her, and I just I had a lot of respect for that. So it was rough. It was rough, but you killed it. You killed it. Okay, discuss different parenting philosophies and approaches.
I don't know if I would say I have a philosophy. Much just a go with the flow kind of mom, like we'll deal with it if it happens type of thing.
Yes.
I mean, I don't do spanking. I don't like it. Like, she's one. She doesn't need to be spanked. She doesn't understand what she's being spanked for.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
so, I mean,
Gentle parenting.
yeah. So, yeah. I guess gentle parenting is about the most
philosophical.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Even then, I wouldn't say I go too in depth on that because I don't know if I fully understand what gentle parenting is yet. So I feel like dip my toe in.
Yes, I feel like there's like some extreme gentle parenting, and then the like your good balance, your good service. Yeah, yeah.
No philosophy. I feel like it has evolved from like first getting Kirsten and Malia to now, and just research and learning and trial and error, and obviously like we've had some experiences that have changed the way that I've done certain things. I don't stick to any certain like I'm not necessarily the crunchy mom or the gentle parenting mom, and I'm not over here just beating my kids, but like I'm also not day to day, like I'm probably not the mom that I want to be, like the Pinterest mom, but like, we're out here trying, and I feel like I've learned a lot as we go, and we just kind of wing it the best we can.
I feel like you have to with children though, because it's so like
I feel like every kid's different. Every situation's different.
Every day's different.
Things are different. Like from when we were raising Kirsten and Malia at that age to like Brooklyn and Zayden at that age.
Well, it's like different from how even we were like all raised. Yeah. Like,
and people say like, well, that happened to me, and like I'm okay, and like I see that side of things, but then I see like the other side of things, and so I'm a very like happy medium, probably not even what I want to be every day, but we're trying.
People say that like, oh, that happened to me and I turned out just fine, and I'm thinking and I'm like, you should probably be in therapy. Like, especially if I know them, I'm like, seriously?
And me and Brandon are very different too, like in our parenting.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that like plays a role too. Mm-hmm. We learned a lot like getting together, because obviously like Kirsten and Leo were like 5 and 6 when we got them, so he had already raised them like up to that point, and like already been a parent and stuff, and then like we got together and then like had kids later down the road, and just like we've grown together, but we're still very different.
Yeah.
And
very different.
He's like he is like wrestling all the time, joking all the time. Like I always say, if our kids can't go out in the world and like get roasted and be okay, like he is just wild.
Sounds like Justin.
And I'm like, I'm not a big jokester. Like I'm the one that like is serious, and how do we fix this? And like trying to just manage everything. And he's just like, go with the flow. He's just here.
Yeah.
Like there's no plan.
I love it though. Those are good. Plus, I feel like it's hard to just like put yourself in a mold of like one avenue too.
Yeah.
Like it just changes so much, especially as I grow and
I have like an idea of what I want, but it's like we have 4 kids, and especially like with my health the last couple of years, and like going through losing my parents, and just everything the last couple of years, COVID, all of it, like sometimes you just like do what you can. Mm-hmm. And like I don't have the energy to like be this idea of like what a mom should be.
Yes.
And so like they're loved, they're taken care of, and we're making it.
As long as they're reading. Yes. Okay. What is a significant lesson that you have learned through motherhood? Whether it be with your kids or like personally yourself.
So I noticed I tend to be more of like a helicopter mom. I don't know if that's my anxiety or what, but I'm trying to make it to the point where I can like let her have some freedom and do things on her own. But like I don't know, I'm just so terrified something's gonna happen. But
understandable.
Yeah.
Especially first time mother. I was like, cut yourself some slack on that.
4 kids, and I'm still that way. I don't know that it's gotten any better either.
I mean, even just letting her go across the street with Justin earlier was a lot for me.
That was huge though, because she let him like carry him or something over there.
Yeah.
That was a monumental moment. I think it's understandable. First time mom, like we said, the world's crazy, and like she's just so curious.
There's just so many war stories that you see online where people are like, I got followed through Walmart and this guy tried to take my baby.
Yes.
Crazy stuff happens.
Okay. Kinsey, any significant lesson for you?
Learning to I don't want to say like take time for yourself, because I don't have time to take. But just like whatever you have to do to like make it to the next day. And I'm because I have bad anxiety, like I'm a control freak. I've had to learn to like let things go. Especially I feel like I learned a lot whenever my parents were like when my mom passed and when my dad was sick, especially like going through cancer with him. Like I couldn't do it all, and I put myself on the back burner and then like came out with my own health problems that I was like, I have to like do these things to like be here for my kids. And so instead of like seeing it as, you know, like, oh, I've got to take care of the kids have this, like that has to be included because I can't do those other things. Like if I'm not getting my health back on track. And even just like for mental health wise, you know, having, like I said, I don't have time to like go and have like a me day or anything, but just like the little things that like make me feel better. I feel like that's a big one. And then just like I said, I've learned and evolved a lot over my years of parenting that I feel like there's not a one size fits all. Like every kid and every situation is different. And even what I thought a year ago is probably different than like what I think today about things. And so I feel like that just like everything is evolving and like you don't know someone else's situation either. So I feel like everybody's just winging it and
Yeah. No, that makes sense though. I get that. What's next? Personal growth as a mother. Do you feel any personal growth? I feel like it kind of goes back to the like the day to day. Like
I think I've for sure grown. Like when we took in Kirsten and Malia, um, I feel like everything was like so fast. I was really young. Like I had just met Brandon. I was 21. Um, I feel like I was still like growing and, you know, I was wild and just, but I knew like being around kids, whether it be mine or someone else's, like I wasn't going to continue to be the person that I was then. And
thankfully Hernando's closed down, so the 50 cent dichotomies also left our life coincidentally.
time. Like sometimes I could still go for one of those. But and like just like over time I've learned grown as a person and it's helped me grow as a mom. I'm a lot calmer now than I was when I was, you know, 21, 22 years old. I'm 32. Like I grew into myself, which helped me like grow as a mom. And when you have 4 kids, like you just can't be everything to everyone. Like,
Yeah.
so you have to, like I said, learn to let things go. Like I can't, you know, go to all the parties and keep the house clean all the time and cook the perfect dinners and, you know, get to everyone's wherever they have to be. Like you have to just kind of do what you can when you can and make it work and be okay with that. And that was my biggest thing was being okay with everything not being how I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Well, and surrounding yourself with people who get it too. So there is like no added pressure. I feel like adds to it.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I was like, holy fuck, like we should I'm on the phone every day. But then it's like, well, but then like you got busy with like school and then like massaging and then like my job changed and so there wasn't as many as like free times where I like needed to get like kill time.
You first asked me to do this and I was like thinking over things like, you know, I stayed home for a long time, so I had literally, and I'm kind of a like not super social person anyway, but you know, like I don't have like somebody there all the time per se, like support system, but like I've had the same friends for years. You know, and your job was different at the time. I was home at the time. So like that got me through a lot of that because that was like adult interaction, like I was still something besides just like a mom and a wife all the time. And even though like, yeah, you don't have kids, you have been through like every stage with me,
Yeah.
you know, and like still are here and have like been supportive through all that. And so I feel like that makes a big difference. Like having people in your life that like accept you at all those stages and that you know wherever life is at, like you're still what you are to that person.
Yeah.
Like me and you were good.
That's why I was like, man, we haven't talked like every day in like a while. And then I was like, life happens, shit happens. Like,
yeah,
I'm not like, that sucks. We're not close anymore. I'm like, no, we're still friends. We still snap or text when we,
Yeah.
Or like, I understand like there's parent teacher conference meetings and there's like soccer and practice. And
I feel like that's like important, like in this stage of life, just because, you know, like people have their careers and kids and all of that. And I feel like me and you always like pick up right where we were, and we still know like we could take that little bit of time to like catch up. We know what's going on in each other's lives.
It's like speed dating, like speed catch up.
Like, we're still here, but like, you know, we're like living. And so
Yes.
I feel like that has helped a lot.
That is important.
In all of my stages.
Yes, surrounding yourself with that, because I just know it's important, especially with moms and like postpartum and like going through all the things too. So, and plus, like, I mean, yeah, you had a kid and your world changed, but like you individually as a person, like your whole world has changed. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like very complex, and I think I just get that. So, it's like, dang it. So,
I struggled a lot with that postpartum anxiety, though I don't think it ever really went away. Maybe just calmed down a little bit.
transformed into toddler anxiety. Yeah. Terrible twos.
Yes.
Toddler anxiety is wild though. Like they literally just get into like everything. Like
The other day, I had her out in the yard, and I was like, just stay right there. I'm going to open the door, and we're going to get in the car. And as soon as I turn around to pull the door open, she just took off running out to the street, just out of nowhere, just gone. And I was like, what?
yes, I have been there. People like that, I was crazy when I was like, my kids literally like are just wild. And it wasn't like, you know, they were bad or like not listening wild. It was just like the curiosity like knew no bounds. I remember Katie coming over one time and like one of the kids like climbs up on the counter and I was like trying to get on top of the refrigerator and she was like, you were not kidding. I'm like, no, that's why I don't let nobody watch my kids. Like, you're not gonna watch them. Like I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah.
Like, so that anxiety is very real.
I know. So after your mom passed and y'all went to the funeral home and we stayed with Brooklyn and Zayden, I told Justin, I was like, do not take eyes off him. She will be mad if we do.
Like my kids literally never with anybody. And they're like, oh, yeah, older now. Personally, and they're like, I'm fine.
Yes. Well, and him and Zayden, I remember were playing ball, and I was like, you need to be by the street. Zayden's not going in the street.
And he does too. It was like, even now, I'm like, you have to stay right here. And then, like, I'm, you know, looking over here, and next thing I know, he's like, well, the ball went. And I'm like, but I said to, you know, like, get me, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
He's wild.
He's cute.
What's wrong with
At
him?
least I wanted a feral baby.
Is Ellie Farrell.
She's a very polite feral.
She is polite. She's one of the most polite kids I've ever met. It's honestly the cutest kid.
Zayden gets away with everything because everyone thinks he's cute and he's sweet.
He is cute.
So like,
I know he's a Sour Patch Kid though. He ain't all sweet.
he is like Brooklyn is like the sweet one all the time, and then Zayden, like he's sweet to me.
Yeah.
But he's not, and he is like really good at school. But then, like he's mean to everyone else in the house. Like today, he was holding Brooklyn down. They were like fighting on the floor, and he was trying to like lick her in the face. It was disgusting. So she was mad, and they were like wrestling. Oh my god!
I can just see it though.
And what I dealt with that was like Kirsten and Malia. I mean, they fought all the time because they're so close in age and stuff. But like,
Girls fight different though.
yeah, I don't know if it's just because it's like a boy and a girl, and they were, you know, like two girls around the same age, but it's very different. And like, I've gotten a lot more lax, and so I feel like that plays a part too.
No, oh my gosh, like when Lexi and Allie fight, which it's mainly like now virtual, like on Snapchat and all that. And then like they don't ever really do it in front of me, but I'll get like the side snaps and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill my sister. And I'm like, can y'all outgrow this, please? Although I don't know if they'll ever outgrow it. I thought her being in college would help, being, you know, like a couple hours away, but no. I think if anything, it's irritated them Lexi more. So
Yeah, it's not like that ever stops. Even Brandon still like argues with his siblings, and I'm like, yeah, I guess just because I didn't have siblings, you know, like in the house with me and stuff. So
I think my brother and I are like such like different age groups, and like we're both just very chill that like we hardly ever bicker. I mean, I get annoyed with him, don't get me wrong, but like it's never like bickering. And I mean, I remember bickering when I was like younger, but it was just like more like my little sister's hanging out with me, bicker like mom, like that type of thing.
yeah,
But yeah, so let's see. Now sister would probably be different. Caitlin and I did used to like bicker, but that was just like petty, like I don't want to accept my step family bicker, so
yeah, still like we fight all the time, and they are still like close, and it's like 1 minute everything's fine, and the next minute like
I hate you, but
it's insane. And I don't know if they think I can't hear them or they just hear them. Yeah, like they just roast each other. I gotta go. I can't be in here.
What are siblings good for?
Stuff, and I'm like, if somebody said that to me, we wouldn't just be standing here. Like, why has nobody hit anybody yet?
Just making them stronger.
I can't.
Like you said, if they can't handle a roast, what good
I still can't. Like, I don't understand. That's too much. I can't do it.
Justin used to make me mad. I would just pants him in front of his friends.
Yes.
He would get so mad.
I did that the other day. You pissed me off so just pants off.
Are you doing that?
What are you for? But I was just like, fine.
And I bet he was like, what the hell?
He's like, oh, you want to do this? And I'm like, we're a mess. We are.
Brandon poured cold water on me in the shower the other day. I don't know what I did, but I felt like
I missed the funeral.
He is like the jokey one, and I'm not. And I don't remember what I did, but I just was like so proud. And then I'm like in the shower, and he kept turning off the light, and I'm like, whatever, I can shower in the dark. Like, I'm not even gonna acknowledge him. And then he like opens the door, and I can kind of see him, and I was like, why are you up there? And all of a sudden, like it just comes all over me. I hate you. This is no longer a joke. Now I'm real mad.
Have you retaliated?
Not yet. I've done that to him before too, though.
Oh my god.
Like, no, until it's like forgotten. And then I'm like, one day, like, I'll just do something and it'll be out of nowhere. He's not expecting it.
Man, I'm gonna think of something good for you to do.
You have to be careful because he knows no bounds. Like everything is funny to him,
true.
and it's not funny to me. Like I'll get big mad.
That's true. He won't stop until he's the winner. Oh shoot. Okay. What is your coping mechanism for handling stress?
You already found mine. I have a lot of boxes in my head.
What's your PG-13 coping mechanism?
Don't cope with things. We've like addressed this in our
That's true.
friendship
Yes.
over the years,
Yes.
but I don't. Like things just happen, and I feel like especially the last couple of years, like there's just something always happening, and so like I don't even think about it anymore. It's just like, oh, life sucks. Like it's really crazy, but
Yeah.
like we'll just keep going. I don't know. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, the same way. Like, stuff happens. Nothing you can do to change it.
Facts.
Just deal with it, move on.
I feel that way, and I don't even have a kid.
Think that everybody can benefit from therapy. I'm not currently in therapy anymore, but that's not like somehow things just like I was having trouble getting therapy after my dad when I like really needed it. So I feel like that would be helpful, but I'm too busy to like think about things. So I just like we deal with it and we keep going. I don't know.
What's a cherished tradition or routine that you have with your kids?
I wouldn't. We haven't really started any traditions with Ellie just because she's so young. She's not going to remember these. But, like, there are some things that, like, I wanted to do that we just haven't done. We're big procrastinators over in our house. But, like, Elf on the Shelf is something that I would like to do.
I got Snoop on the stoop.
I think it would be so fun.
My kids want an elf so bad.
Good luck.
Can't.
Good luck.
I cannot.
But I did see a TikTok about that the other day. This lady was like, I'm so glad I didn't get my kids an Elf on the Shelf. And here's the story of why they don't have one. Because she's like, my kids were always asking for one. And I tell them, the elves only get sent to the bad kids' house. You're good. You don't need an elf.
I don't know. I can't think of like any like special tradition that we do. I mean, we've always like tried to like have time together, but then as like all the kids have gotten older and in sports, like we're never even in the house at the same time. I feel like, and so we just like catch up when we can. Like sometimes it's 10:30 at night, and the big girls are getting in from sports, and like they just come sit in the room and we talk. Or like I mean, the little kids are with us all the time, but they can't like take themselves anywhere. So
Yeah.
like, we just I don't know, like do things as we can. As far as like holidays and stuff, that's changed over the years of like, different times like when we're with his family or my family or whatever.
Well, you have birthdays in December too, so.
And we have birthdays, like all just it's like birthday, Christmas, birthday, like and so it's always something. And so I mean we like obviously like spend the holiday together and do something. But I feel like it's like looked different over the years, yeah. Because like for a while, like we did everything at our house, and then we were like going to my family's house, and now we're kind of back at our house. And we did like this year, we have not gone and tried to like be with family or do anything. Like it's just been us. And there was like no expectations. Like it was very chill.
I like that.
Nobody was like having to get dressed up, and we weren't having to like have food done at a certain time. And like I just was,
No rushing around.
and yes, it was literally the best. Nobody was fighting, nobody was arguing. Like we still had our food, and so I feel like not having that expectation was very nice for us.
That's your new tradition.
Yeah. So as long as we're together, like I don't care.
Yeah. Just add some.
We always like try to like do games and stuff like it's hard because like our kids are so different in age. So I feel like what's fun for one set is not fun for the other set. But we like try to make sure that everybody's happy.
Everyone smile. Okay, I feel like I've got a good one to end on. Okay, if you could go back in time, what piece of advice would you give to your pre-motherhood self about motherhood? You can think on it in a minute. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
And way to go, ChatGPT. And if you would like to sponsor us, we are available.
I kind of have like two things. So like one, like research stuff more. Um, I feel like in the beginning, like just whatever was like the norm, I feel like that's like what I went with. And now I very much question things um, of like just how I do things, how we address certain things. Um, and another would just be like chill, you know, um, like I said, I've had a lot of time to like calm down over the years, and while I still very much have a lot of anxiety, like I feel like what was important then and what is important now is a lot different. I'm a lot older too, so I feel like that helps.
Yeah.
Just like don't care about a lot of things as you get older. So like I'm very strong in the fact now of like this is how I want to parent and this is what I'm going to do with my kids, and you can do what you want to do with your kids, but we're not gonna like argue about this.
Yeah, there's no right answer.
Yeah. And so like I said earlier, you know, every situation and kid is different, but I am confident in like what I'm choosing to do with my kids.
I like that. I like that.
And just like not caring about things.
Yeah. That's good.
I think mine would be to tell myself to not be afraid to put down boundaries and be more firm about it.
Yes.
Because I tend to be a bit of a pushover. And so, like, even if I say no and somebody does it anyway, like, I tend to just keep my mouth shut because, like, I'd rather just let them do it than deal with an argument. Because, like, I ain't got the energy for that.
Yeah.
I'm still very, like, not confrontational, but that is a good one because I feel like everyone thinks they know everything. And like I said, I'm a very firm believer in, like, I'm going to do with my kids what I feel is right. And those are my kids. So, but people don't want to respect that a lot of the time. And they're like, well, when I have your kids or when I'm around your kids, and that is hard to confront.
Yeah.
Like about.
Yeah, I just feel like there has to be like a level of respect because I remember, well, okay, so I love essential oils like crazy. And I remember one time, like, we were up there, I think it was when Camden was being born, and like Amber and my brother, like, no essential oils on Amelia. I'm like, okay, done. Like, it's just a level of respect, or, you know, just like if you were to tell me, like, Ellie can't have Cheetos, like, okay, like, no Cheetos.
Gross Cheetos over.
It's like a lot of people don't like think about that stuff. And that is hard to instill in other people. Like, I don't want my kid to have this, or I don't want my kid to be around this, or whatever. And that's a very hard one.
Well, I'm in a red food dye group on Facebook, and like I feel like the number one thing I see on there is they'll be like, oh, I sent them to their grandparents, and then they sent me a picture of them like licking red velvet cake batter, or like, you know, the things that and like they can tell a difference in taking the dyes out of the diet. And so they're like explaining to like aunts, uncles, grandparents, friends, like, don't, like, this actually is for the benefit of their health. And then, like I said, they just kind of like override them, and oh, here's like cherry Kool-Aid, or and it's,
you know,
just
me,
like,
I'm a crazy one. Family on every side, and you know, that's my choice. And I'm not super strict about anything. But there are some things that we do or that we don't do,
and it's for a reason.
Yeah, it's wild to me that I can't imagine if somebody ever told me like, "Hey, you're watching my kid. Like, I really don't want them to have this." Never in my mind am I like, "Oh, it'll be fine. Like, I'll give it to him anyway."
Yeah,
I don't have to agree with it. Like, gonna do it because you asked me not to. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yes, yes. So that's how I see it for y'all.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Chat GPT. Well, wrapping up, would you like to shout your children out?
Yeah. My little Ellie Bean.
Ellie.
She's turning 2 in 1 month.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the theme.
Yes.
Sounds fun.
She got some cute, like, llama, not pinatas, balloons and a cactus pinata, and I'm going to do tacos and probably rice and beans.
Taco buffet.
It's really good, like, party food, too. Like, it's easy.
So,
I think we did, Toodles for Brooklyn.
no, it was frozen, wasn't it? Oh, no, that was 3. Brooklyn, what? Yeah, it was the Minnie Mouse cake. Okay. Or no.
Toodles and
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
we've done, I feel like Zayden has like got gypped because I think he's only had like one themed birthday. I mean, like do little birthdays and there's like, you know, we have the plates and stuff, but it's not like crazy. Like it has been.
Yeah, because we would legit make like Brooklyn shirts.
I know, I just spent like almost $300 on decorations for her birthday party. My mom's like, you're ridiculous. And I'm like, hey, I'm just giving her the parties I would have wanted.
Yeah.
We'd get those like big, like, what is it, like the Disney princess balloons?
Yes.
Like, I don't even know if Zayden's ever seen one.
I made Brooklyn that like life-size Olaf or whatever that one is. I don't think I made Zayden.
Well, it's okay because they all give me so much crap. They're like, he gets away with everything. And I'm like, he's literally the baby, the only boy.
Okay, this year we gotta do it big for him. I feel bad now. Whatever character he wants, I'll make him a shirt or something. I feel bad.
Like shirts and stuff. I don't know if like I got it made, but like,
yeah, but I didn't make it. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we make up for it in his day-to-day life. Like he knows that he's spoiled and
Tiny man.
he's just like,
although he's not a tiny man anymore.
I was looking at him yesterday in the car and like his little face just looks so grown. Like even it's just like crazy. I'm like, why are all these kids so big? Like Kirsten is literally gonna be 18 this year.
That's weird.
Lynn
so
just
weird.
got her driver's license like this last week. So they're both like driving all over the place.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's like wild. I'm just like, how are you almost like this full human like person? I don't know.
Yes.
And then Brooklyn, did I tell you I chopped her hair?
Yes.
Okay.
Your birthday
died. Yeah, she wanted to have like a girl's day and she wanted to chop her hair off and she wanted it like up here. And it was like down here. And I'm like, absolutely not. We'll meet in the middle. So we did. But she just looks so grown. And then like even Zayden is like missing his little like baby face, I guess. And he doesn't want to kiss me in front of people anymore.
No.
Still will, but he will not. And I'm like, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
That's heartbreaking.
So it's growing up on me. It's so sad.
Oh, that makes me sad too. Shout out to the kiddos. We love you all. Okay, well, remember to subscribe, rate, leave a review, like, and share. If you have a Mother's Day story, please send it in to stbt2024@gmail.com or our social medias. And also, we welcome any topic recommendations. So send them our way. So, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.